Hello everybody, this is Sandy again. I'm going to have my next live Instagram call today with Lena Lutzeier. I'm gonna try to get her joining us right now. So let's see if I can find her. There she is. I'm gonna request online and I hope that's gonna happen anytime soon here. I invited her and yeah, she is, there she is.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Fantastic. Very good.
Awesome.
I appreciate your time today. So the technical stuff, all good. To all the listeners and everybody who's joining us today, please ask any questions to Lena or to myself. That's what we are hosting those calls for. But yeah, before you start with your introduction, I'm welcoming you, 4-time single All-American, 3 times double All-American, in Division 2 tennis player, Lena. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, if you would like to add to that a little bit more and introduce yourself to everybody so everybody knows who you are.
Yes, of course. First of all, I want to say I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm
Great.
sorry because I have a few people watching today. They don't know me that well yet, but they are going to know me well. So I want to present myself from the best side. Yeah, what else can I tell you about myself? I was the first German that reached the #1 ranking in Division 2. So that
On the
is what
women's
I'm
side,
really,
nice. Well
yes,
done.
that's what I'm really, really proud of. And yeah, everything else, I think you said it already.
That's awesome. Yeah, when did you start playing tennis? How did you find out about college tennis in the US? And explain a little bit about that aspect of things. And I know I'm going to come back to this later. You said you have some people listening to you. I think that's something we're going to speak later about a little bit more in detail, what your future holds for you. But yeah, share a little bit with you. How did you get into tennis in a younger age? What was your motivation to play college tennis? What was your level already before you came to the US? And I think that's a great start that, all the athletes and all the listeners get to know you better.
Yes, of course. So first of all, it's really unusual, but my parents, they don't play tennis. And actually, they never wanted me to play. So my dad was a volleyball coach, so obviously he wanted me to play volleyball,
Well,
and my and my mom always wanted me to do team sports, so I find friends easily and all that stuff. So how did I get to it? It was funny. We just went to a sports restaurant in my hometown. It's a really small town. We are not that many people, and right next to it we have some tennis courts. I think like 3 or something, and there was a little tennis camp going on with like little kids between the age of 3 until 10, I guess my mom told me. And we had to pass the tennis courts to get to the restaurant. And well, I stopped and I watched them playing tennis and doing all this funny stuff. And my parents already ordered the food, and I was still standing on the fence watching what they were doing. And then this tennis coach asked me if I wanted to try. So I was like, yes, yes, of course, because I always was into sports from a really young age. And I was only 3 years old, and I was running on the court, and my mom was screaming, no, don't go on this clay court, because she just bought me new white shoes. So yes, so I was there with my new white shoes on the tennis court. And
Which
this was
were
at the age of 3, but then my parents took me away from tennis again. So I got back to it, and I hit my first balls when I was 6 years old.
That's awesome. So in a young age, with 3, the first time you played, and then with 6, you got back into the game again.
Yes, yes.
That's great. So after that, like I assume you created and you had such a big passion for the game. How did it develop into that you became a college tennis player?
It was quite a journey, I have to say. So until I was 16, I stayed at home with my parents. And then I decided after I passed 10th grade that I moved to Cologne, a bigger city in Germany. There was a bigger opportunity for me to study and yeah, practice really hard, I would say. And then I stayed there for almost 3 years. And in this time period, I already got offers from high schools in America, but I always said no, no. I was a super quiet girl. Actually, off the court, on the court, it's a different story, but off court, I was always super quiet. And I was just scared about the big United States and all this English speaking, because actually before I went, I couldn't speak English. I don't know how I passed high school in Germany, but I really couldn't speak that well. And yeah, then I decided not to go for high school, but I finished my degree in Germany. And after that, yeah, many more colleges reached out to me, and then I decided, okay, with the help of uniexperts, I'm gonna try my
And
best over there.
and then tell me which school do you decided back in the days?
Yeah, back in the days, I decided to play for Armstrong State University. At that time, it was the best Division II school that existed, but unfortunately, they closed a few years ago.
Yeah, unfortunately, and as you know, Stefan Wirtz played for Armstrong, and he was very bummed about it too. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely Armstrong was one of the best tennis programs in Division II tennis, and I know you played there. I think it was 2 or 3 years, 3 years.
I played 3 years there, yes. And then my last year, I got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, fantastic! Congratulations.
Thank
Hall of
you.
Fame is a huge accomplishment for any athlete of any school.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's great.
Stefan is in there too.
Oh, Stefan is in the Hall of Fame as well. Very
Yeah.
proud, very proud Hall of Famer of Armstrong Athletics, definitely. Tell us about your experience when you were in the US. Well, how differed it from Germany, and how was the college culture? How did the United States, US little country girl, yeah, living in Cologne for 2, 3 years, going over to the big United States? What was it? How was the change? How did you like it? Did you love your experience? How did it go for you?
Yes, I have to say, if I can turn back the 4 years, I would do it all over again. I really loved it. And well, I was scared, as I said before, because I couldn't speak English. Like, all I could say is like, hi, how are you? Good. Okay, bye. So it was really hard for me. In the first 2 weeks, I had headaches 24/7. And I was sitting in my classes. I didn't understand anything. But I have to say that the professors are really, really nice and cooperative. That's what I experienced. And yes, I studied a lot. I was a lot in the international office, and yeah, doing extra work there so I can learn better English. And but after one semester, I would say I was really, really going good with everything.
So you would say that the system, the American, university system, because I can imagine that there are many other, younger athletes who ask themselves exactly the same question, and have this fear of like, oh, I'm going to a different country. It's not my first language. And they face English as a second language and say, oh, I'm not sure if I can survive the university level. Would you say from your experience that the professors and the system, the way the college system is built, is very supportive and helpful for you as an athlete?
Yes, I think so. Because you have 4 years to study. It's in Germany, you only have 3 years. So the first year in America is to find what you really want to do and what you're really into. And in this first year, I decided, okay, business is what I really want to do. And also, I was really lucky with my coach, because he was super cooperative, and he gave me the feeling like he is my American home and my American family. And I always got support from him also off court, and that was really, really important to me.
So you're basically saying that the coach and the team is becoming your second family, I would call it.
Exactly, yes.
That's great. I think, and in my other calls with like some other players, they mentioned exactly the same, because you're kind of leaving home, Germany, your parents, your environment, your friends, your coaches, and you're going to a new environment over there. So the coaches want to make sure that when you come over there, that you have the best environment, that you feel home, that you have a new kind of family, because you're spending a lot of time with in your case, the tennis team together. And why don't you explain that a little bit more? Like, how was the relationship with your teammates? How was the environment of college tennis differ to what you experienced in Germany? Because something you said earlier was your mom always wanted you to play a team sport, and tennis is an individual sport. However, I feel like when you came to the US, it was more like the team atmosphere, right?
Yes, exactly. So That is funny because actually when I got to the US, it was not that easy for me to get into a team spirit because I never experienced it, and I was always like by myself, practicing by myself, fighting for myself. So at first I really had some trouble to get into this mindset of being in a team and playing for a team. But I had a lot of talks with coach and with also my senior doubles partner. She helped me a lot at that time. And yes, and then I really started enjoying it, and I really felt that support also in season, especially then with the team behind me. I was even stronger, and I felt like just nobody could beat us. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like, and the nice thing is, like you said earlier, because I was in similar shoes like you. In Germany, you travel by yourself, so you play a tournament, you lose a match, and then you're like, oh, I lost my match. I'm disappointed and sad. But in the US, you have the system around you, the team around you. You know, you're pushing you back up again, giving you motivation. It's not only all about yourself; it's about like how does the team perform as a whole, right?
Yes, right. And it's just that you fight even harder because you know you're not fighting for yourself. It's like, okay, maybe I would give up this point now, but everybody's watching and everybody's screaming for me. So okay, maybe I can get to that ball one more time, you know.
That's great. And if you go back in your time in college tennis, what would you say from an athletic perspective was one of the biggest or the best team memory, and from an individual perspective, what is like sticking in your mind the most?
For me individually, I think, but it's also for the team. It actually sums up everything. It was in my freshman year. We played in the final against Barry University, and I was lucky enough to have the clinching point. So I clinched to the national championship, and I think that's a feeling I will never forget in my whole life.
So you won 4-3?
No, I think one of my teammates was still playing, but I was faster. So
faster. So you got the clinching. So you held the big trophy as well, the big national trophy.
Yes.
That's
Everybody
great.
was running to my court, and they were all falling over me, and it was just great.
Very emotional. And that as a freshman.
Yes, as a
In
freshman.
your first year. Have you had a chance to do that again?
We also won the nationals the year after. I was still on court, but that time my teammate was faster than me. So it's funny because
payback time from the year before, right?
Sorry?
Payback time from the year before, because you were
Yes.
faster the year before. Yeah, there you go. So you had the same emotions. And tell us, how does it work? So I mean, what does nationals mean? When you play your season, do you play in your conference first, and then how do you develop to become to the nationals? If you can explain that a little bit more.
Yes, of course. So first you have a preseason kind of. So every coach makes up a schedule, but there are still some matches that you have to play. For example, other colleges in your conference, and then you start with a conference tournament around March, I guess, if I remember it right.
Mm-hmm. And it's different from every conference, you know. It's not because you were in the Peachville conference, so yours is around March. You start in March, but some schools start earlier, some schools start later. So it's different from conference to conference.
Oh, okay. You see, I learned even more.
There you go.
Yeah. So you first play conference, and then the winner of the conference and the runner-up build two different draws for the regionals, and then they play regionals with two draws, and then the two winners of each draw from regionals get a ticket to nationals.
Perfect. And then the nationals, where did you play the nationals? Which cities?
My freshman year I played in Phoenix, Arizona, and
Brutally
then we
hot in the desert.
it was
kind
super hot. Yes, I saw people passing out, and
dry
they
heat.
had ice everywhere. Yeah, but that was my advantage because I really love the hot. So yeah.
And then the second year, where did you play the second year?
We played in Denver.
Oh, opposite.
Yes, it was horrible. My balls were flying everywhere.
Yeah, you probably because of the altitude, right?
Yes, it was terrible. We even played with special balls.
Yeah. I didn't know that part. Great. And okay, that's about the athletic part. How was your practice? Like, how many times did you practice a week during the season and off the season? If you can explain that a little bit more and give some ideas.
Yes, off season we did way more conditioning and weights than in season, because off season we don't have that much hours that we are allowed to play tennis. I don't know if that is different from to Division 1 or not, but at that time it was like this. So we did a lot of conditioning, so we were really healthy and fit for season. And yeah, in season we focused a lot on doubles, because at that point you still got 3 points in doubles, so that was a huge part. And I would say off season we practiced every day, even though on our days off we went to the courts and we played for ourselves without coach. And in season we had at least 1 day off, but we could still decide if we want to play on our own or not. So sometimes I went to the court to just practice surfing or something.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Great. And so that's all about the athletic part. How was it academics? So how big were your class sizes? How supportive, you already talked about that, were the professors. Can you share a little bit more about the, like, kind of the daily routine, but also from an academic standpoint?
Yes, so the classes were pretty small, I would say, even though Armstrong wasn't a big school either. So
do you know how many students?
I don't remember. I think around 10,000.
Okay.
I don't know. Not that big. But it was perfect for me because I'm a family person, so it was quite nice. So in my first year we had a few bigger classes. I would say we were around 50 students in like math classes or something that everybody had to take. But then the years after, my second and third year, I had classes that were only with me 5 people. So the professors could really focus on us, and we did some really great things. And yeah, the professors always took their time. So whenever we had questions, we could go to their office and they would sit down with us. I remember one coach also traveled to nationals to see us play. So he was really into it.
You said a coach or a professor?
A professor.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yes. Also our president from the school, she always came to see us at nationals. Yeah, it was really such a family environment. Yeah.
Great. That's I think something where you feel like the US has a high value on sports as well, besides studying. Like you study and you have your daily routine, but on the other hand, it's great how the universities and the sport is valued in the USA, that it's, they like the competition and they put a lot of effort to it to make sure that you have the best quality of education at the same time while you get amazing opportunities to compete in the sport you love, right?
Yes.
Awesome. I think something we were waiting for and something I'm actually very curious about is an announcement you would like to make, that, where your future is going to take you. I know that you have been you've been playing tennis now. You had some injury problems. If you want to share that with you after you graduated from your bachelor degrees, let's lead up to that from once you graduated with your business degree, what you have been playing, how everything went, and then where it's going to lead up to.
Yes. My dream was always to play after college, like to see how it differs to professional tennis. So I went to play some ITF tournaments, and unfortunately it was that time when the system changed a little bit. So it was really hard for me to get into the tournaments because I didn't have any points. And so I had to play pre-tournaments to get into the qualifying, to get into the main draw if I'm lucky enough to win. And yeah, I played some in Egypt, I played some in Tunisia. And after, I think 3 months, I was already 800. So it went pretty well. I didn't expect that because I never knew how it is to play on the professional level. And yeah, it went really well. And then I started playing the 25K in Germany and some higher ones. And last year in June, I had to stop, unfortunately, because I got injured on my right shoulder. And
what happened?
Nobody knows exactly. Many doctors say it's because I played so many years on hard court and now I got back to clay, and then you play a a little bit more spin, or you change a little bit of your technique. And they found out that it's chronic and it will never go away completely again. So I had to change my way of thinking and how I'm gonna keep going for the next years. And so I found a really good job now, and I'm working for a German TV station. It's called Pro7 Sat.1.
Nice.
And I'm working there in the sports section. I really enjoy it. I actually just got done like 10 minutes before we started our call.
What are you exactly doing? What is your job description, and what are your responsibilities?
I'm working in the sports section, so we are promoting any kind of sports events and things we are having. Yes, like we would have promoted some of the football from the European Cup and stuff, but it all
got cancelled due to COVID-19.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I will go back to the States in August. Yes, in August.
Doing
I'm
what?
going back. I'm really, really excited. Yes, I'm going to be assistant coach of Georgia Southern.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's the grad assistant position, right? You're going to be
Yes.
grad assistant, right? So what that means is like you're going to take your MBA while working for Sean, in this case, as your head coach, who was your coach at Armstrong University, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Exactly, yes.
There you go. Coincidence.
I'm super excited.
I can imagine. I think the team is going to be extremely pumped to have you as a grad assistant coach, to share your great experience from all your years on and off the court, and also happy for Sean to have you back. I think you always work really well together. So work as a dream team and make sure that, you know, Georgia Southern University is going to do very well. And I see Paula already go Eagles, and actually
yes,
Nadia Meyer, a player of mine, is playing for Sean right now. And I think she's doing extremely well. She's going to be really pumped for you to join Sean over there. Matt McNeese, congrats. Thank you. I passed that to Lena as well. She's very happy about it.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think you're going to do a great job with the team. And yeah, what are your expectations?
Well, I watched all the videos of all girls that I'm going to have in my team already, so I'm ready for you girls.
Fantastic! Your plan is already ready.
Great. Yes, and I really hope they love running. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just really, really excited to see everything from the other side, I would say. Like, I was 4 years a player, and now I'm really excited to see it from a coach perspective, and what coach has to work on during season. Also, everything we don't really see because we are just focused on practicing and staying healthy and yeah, our academics. So I'm really excited to see how it works on the other side, and I hope that I can help every single girl to get a little bit better every day. And yeah, I hope that we can achieve really amazing things.
Oh, that's great. And I couldn't agree more with you. It's when you are a player, you are just like making sure you play, you practice, you're motivated, you're with the team, you get your academics right, and you are in your daily routine. When I did something similar, I was a year assistant coach with my OPT. So I worked for the school, and then, you know, new things, you learn new aspects of the whole college system. You do scheduling, you have to coordinate the practices, you need to make sure all the food is ready, you need to make sure the players have the best opportunity to perform the best level. So you're completely thinking in a different way, and I'm excited for you to experience that. I think Sean is going to is going to do a great job in like teaching you a lot of things, so that you, if that is the route you want to go long term to be a college coach, that you can, you know, succeed in that. And I'm extremely happy for the team to have you as part of the coaching staff coming in fall 2020, as long as the COVID-19 is not prohibiting that.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. One last question for you. If there's anything you would like to share with somebody who is like in a position of like deciding or like thinking about college tennis in the USA, what would be your recommendation to them?
There are so many.
So many. Top three.
No, I think the most important is that they are sure that they find the right region for them. Like every character is a little bit different and every region in America is a little bit different. So I would say that Georgia is way different than California. And I think to just maybe talk to the coaches before you decide where you want to go to, and maybe FaceTime or Zoom or Skype with them is really, really important, because in the end you have to be like a little family, like I said before, and you have to be really close to your coach. And if that doesn't work out that well, you are not going to be that happy. But yeah, do it better than me, because my coach always wanted to Skype with me before I went to America, but I always told him I don't have time. Actually, I was just too scared to Skype because I couldn't speak English. So
Hey, in your case, luckily you had Roger and uniexperts on your team, because they knew all the coaches, so they made sure it was the right fit for you, right?
yes, exactly.
No, that's great. So, Lena, I really appreciate your time today. I wish you all the best and all the best of luck for fall as a grad assistant position. I'm excited to follow everything going on and how the team is performing. I actually just talked to Sean the other day. I think it was last week, Thursday. There was a big conference call with a few coaches, and I was luckily joining that call. So I'm excited and wish you all the best. Keep my fingers crossed. Stay healthy. And I look forward to seeing your progress as a grad assistant position, as a coach.
Thank you so much, and stay healthy as well.
Thank you so much, and stay healthy to everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.